All right, everyone, so this place is just left abandoned. They're gonna tear it down. I would love to go in. He wouldn't go with me. I'm not gonna try to go in because if he went with me, I would have went. But he's leaving. Look at this place. The windows are all busted out. You going with me? It's okay.
Probably got it locked.
I'm not going in anyways.
But they're gonna demolish it here soon.
I'm not going in by myself. Look at this. Bye. God, I stood and talked to him for a while, guys. They're gonna tear it down. Look at how beautiful. It's gigantic. All the windows are busted out and everything though. It's gonna be gone. I bet you it's a bunch of apartments because it's so big. All right. Look, the camera looks like it's really zoomed in. It is. All right. So that was definitely, look at the back of it. I hear somebody, I just don't see them. That is definitely the historical place. All right, let's go. Let's get out of here. Before the crazy people come out of their houses. That man works on places. He actually works for one of my old landlords. When I left my husband and got divorced, I rented from this lady named Sue. And that's who he works for. It's pretty crazy. Oh my goodness, it's getting so cold. It's 57 now. The sun's gone. Let me see what Tyler said. All right, so the house that we just looked at, the historic house, is the Wright Butler House. I think I already read you guys the story. It was built in 1896. It's a Queen Anne style suburban, 1-unit dwelling. It was the home of Wright Butler from 1868 to 1932. One of Cumberland's leading, whatever that word is, archaeologists, I don't know, at the turn of the 20th century. All right, let me see what else we got. I wanted to ride by my house over there on Fairmont because that's, I know that that was my landlord. He said that yes, they have a house over there. He was saying it was tan. I think it was blue. Let me see what Tyler says. I think I'm running out of daylight, guys. It's 5 o'clock now. All right. So I'm waiting for Tyler to tell me. All right. They were getting food for us all. So I need to go back and get some food. But we're going to ride over by Fairmont Avenue and I'm going to show you the house. I'm pretty sure it's blue. God, this house beside it looks awful too. Eventually this whole street will be torn out. All these houses probably. Hopefully they keep the Columbia Street School. I bet you there's a lot of spirits in that Columbia Street School. It has been a lot of people have overdosed in there. It was an apartment building for a long time. I think it might still be an apartment building. Look, somebody just walked out of it, so it is. There's another train. I used to know somebody that lived right here on the left, that building right there. Oh, I got a blinking light so I can turn left, but I just got to be able to get out there and watch for traffic. This ought to be fun. Can't wait on the light. I don't know if I'm out too far or what. go. I wanted you guys to be able to see, you know, where we're going and everything. That's why I got you guys pointed out that way. I know the town is historic. I shouldn't say it's ugly, but some of the places are ugly. If I lived here, I would get in with some of these rental places and be able to go into these locations. I used to know a lot of the people that rented around here. Like, I probably know the Sue lady. So there's that post office again. Look at that purple house. Ooh, we're gonna go, we're gonna go, we're gonna go. Don't hit us. Like, some of these little brick houses are so cute. I think what they need to do is just clean up the crappy looking houses. I know you can't make people clean their house up. You know, people don't want to do anything to their places because they don't want their taxes to go up. And that's pretty much why people don't fix up their houses. You know, some of these old houses probably beautiful inside because the inside has nothing to do with your taxes. The outside has everything to do with your taxes. You paint the front of the house and your taxes are going up. It's crazy. Just like when we painted our house when we first moved in, we painted the house, the taxes went up. Going over here by Green Street, and I'm gonna go up and show you guys. I was just curious. I guess I'm going for myself. I'm just curious because I'm pretty sure the place is blue. My dentist used to be right here around the corner. Oh look, there's a train here too. Oh, I won't be able to get through if there's a train. Dang it. I can't believe I can't remember the name of that road. I know my road was Fairmont now. I can remember that it was Fairmont. I cannot think of the name of that road that goes up to Fairmont. We are on the west side of Cumberland. When I lived here, the kids went to West Side Elementary School. This is a cheap town to live in. I mean, rent's higher than it was before. I mean, you used to be able to rent a 3-bedroom place back when I lived here. You could rent one for like $500, less than $500. I think our first place that we rented was like, I don't know, $285 or something. It was cheap when we moved here in 1987. The places were so cheap. Now it's expensive. I mean, even when we left, I think Angie had just rented the place. I helped her get in a place when I moved to Florida, and Angie stayed here. I helped her get into a place, and I think it was only $525 a month, and it was a nice 2-story house. So rent is reasonable. I think it's went up since the COVID thing, since everything's went up. Have you guys noticed that everything has went up? All right, right here is Children's Medical Group. This is where I took the kids to the doctor. That building on the left, you're gonna see it as soon as I turn, right there. Now, I lived up here. What is this? I wanted to say Rose Hill. It is called Rose Hill. Okay, so it's called the same thing as the cemetery. This is the road that takes you up to Fairmont. Rose Hill. That's what I thought it was. My sister-in-law lived here on the left, and she passed away. She passed away the same day as my nephew, Gary. Alright, and here's Fairmont. It's Fairmont Lane. I thought it was Fairmont Avenue. Fairmont Lane. See if it's blue. Oh, this house is for sale. Let's see this. That's nice. This neighborhood right here is not bad at all. The house, it is blue. It's that house right there. But there was a house beside me. They must, maybe there wasn't. Maybe it was just fenced in. See that blue one right there? That's where I lived. Man, I thought there was a house beside me. Maybe they tore it down. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe there wasn't. But yep, it's blue. That was my house. 548 Fairmont. I could not remember what it was. 548 Fairmont. Look at this house here. Look at the garage. That's just the garage. The house is gorgeous. That was my neighbor Gary's relatives. He, oh, I could show you this. He lived right beside he was at 550. He was in that last, in the white building there, and he was on the second floor, and he fell. He drank a lot. He leaned over and he fell, and he died right there. I got a car coming. They're probably wondering what the heck I'm doing. That guy was a good friend to me. He drank a lot, but he was a good friend to me. Him and I, we actually, I shouldn't say this, but we actually, his mom and dad went out of town, and his mom and dad lived over on the other corner. And we went over to their house, and we went swimming in their pool, and we took the kids, and we had fun while they were gone. Anyways, so it was blue, and I rented off a lady named Sue, so I'm pretty sure it's the same lady. But a lot of these houses need to just be tore down. They're falling apart. It looks like they're already starting to tear them down. The plumbing underneath some of them are so bad that you know, it's not fixable, or it would cost you as much to fix the plumbing as it would to build a new house and put in new plumbing. But this neighborhood here is not bad. It's a nice little neighborhood. This is where we lived. Haley, I drove her to school, but she liked to walk home. She went to West Side. Anyways, I don't know where else we're going, so I think I don't know how many hours we've spent driving around. It's now 5:03. So at least 3 hours, maybe. I'm gonna have a lot of video footage. Lots of it. I don't remember what number that guy told me at Washington Street to go look at. Oh, I got a red light. I almost ran it. Dang. I almost went right through the red light. I was thinking I had to stop and look, and there was no cars I was gonna go. Talked to Tyler, and Pappy's he's still the same. Hospice thinks it's going to be tonight. Hospice thinks he's not going to make it through this night. Today's the 30th, January 30th. I'm pretty sure it's the 30th. Let me make sure. Yes, today's January 30th. I tell you guys the date because I have no clue as to when I'm going to put these videos out. I'm trying to edit them. Oh, look at this. I'm trying to edit the videos while I'm here, but sometimes it's hard. I mean, sometimes it's even hard to get on the phone or try to answer messages because everybody's around, and I don't want to be rude by talking on the phone. I don't want to, I don't want to not pay attention to them talking to me and be answering messages and stuff. I just feel like we're just sitting and watching and waiting, and it's sad. It's so sad. It's gonna be dark any time now. Maybe I'll ride you out the valley road. You guys want to go back out the valley road where I lived? Look at the wall on the side. Some of the history and historic buildings in this town are so beautiful. It looked like that bridge behind us was closed off too. Oh, yield. Dollar Bank. What the heck's a dollar bank? My insurance company's to the right where my insurance was so cheap. I don't know what a dollar bank is. I guess it's where you keep your dollar. It says dollar bank since 1855. Huh. I don't remember it being here. Maybe it's a new kind of bank. I don't know. Oh, sorry guys. I'll probably have to part this video out. It's going to be 3 hours long. Who's still in the car hanging with me? You guys are probably sitting on stuff because there's so much junk in this car. Come on, light change. Look at the church. I've been there once. A friend of mine, oh, it's got a historic sign too. A friend of mine went to church there, and I went with him one time. It's a Catholic church. One time, they do things different than Christian, or than, no, I shouldn't say Christian, than I guess Christian churches. They do things a little different. When you go in, you kneel, you do the little thing with your hands, and then you kneel, and that's when you pray. They got little cushions for you to kneel and pray on, which is kind of nice. It just was different. Because back, when I lived here, I went to church all the time. I wish I had a good church that I could go to. Oh, I shouldn't get that close on the tracks. Had a good church. I need to find me a church in Florida. I loved my church here. I'm gonna go up and go back down Columbia Street again. Damn, that place looked like it was being torn out too. Look at the place in front of us. Is it abandoned too? They all look like they're abandoned. But you never know what people live in, because people live in some crazy places. You see some of these abandoned locations we go to, and people are actually still living in them. Some of the houses on this road, they've fixed up. Some of them don't look too bad. But this used to be one of the really bad roads. I know they're up here at the end on the left. One of them houses, I think it was a green one, they were cooking meth in it. It might have caught fire. Maybe it's gone. Maybe it was on the corner. It's another meth house. There's a couple of them. It was just like these here on the left, except for I think it was green. So, yeah, it's gone. See, it was right there, and they tore it down. I think it caught fire from the meth. I think the thing blew up. All right, so I'm gonna turn right and take you guys all the way out the valley road where I lived. We'll make the loop and we'll come back in. Then I'm gonna go back to Tyler's Paps. I'm not filming at Tyler's Paps because, you know, that's just rude to try to film. And when Pappy was alive, Pappy liked it. He loved being on camera. You guys know that. Hey, there's a cemetery over there. I forgot about that one. I might have to try to do that one tomorrow. Pappy loved being on camera. He always told me, he always would say, she's talking to herself again, because I would talk to the camera. It's funny. All right, so this is the Valley Road. I had to walk this one time in the dark. I was scared to death. This is the road that I drove every single day. I used to work I worked 3 jobs all the time. I worked at that time I worked at automotive supply. I worked at the Goodwill, drove a school bus. And I think when I was working at the Goodwill, my car broke down and I had to walk all the way out the Valley Road. Right in there is where, oh, it's posted. Right in there was where they found that body. That woman's body. That man killed her. My neighbors, they drove a church van, and the little boy, Daniel, he was my Danny's friend. The little boy said, "There's a body back there." And they didn't think there was, but they, you know, pulled the bus over, and my neighbor, the driver, he got out and he went back there, and sure as enough, there was a lady's body there. It's crazy. Now that house on the left is where Angie lived. That place is haunted, and I think it's completely empty. It would be so cool to buy that place. Oh, they tore some of them houses down right there. There was a lot of places out here that may be gone by now. I liked living out in the valley. Liked it a lot. What is that thing? Is that their garbage thing? That's weird. Alright guys, you turned off on me. Alright, so this is Orr Street. Angie lived on this road, right down to the right there. I didn't turn it. She also lived right there in them apartments on the right at one time. Up here around the corner, there used to be a man in a wheelchair. He didn't have no legs, and he used to wave at me every time I come by. He was in this little cabin right here. This cabin sold for $40,000 with the piece of property behind it. Now, there's a lot of people out here that are thieving. They'll steal your stuff. It was that cabin. They got a dumpster there. So many of these places. That one's gone, the one right here on the corner. There was one right there. I think it was a drug house. It probably blew up. Or no, maybe this is it right here. Maybe that's it. I know you guys can't see very good. It's all boarded up. Look at this. This is crazy. Oh, I got you all cockeyed now. Leroy lived there. Leroy taught me how to build stuff and everything. He's the one that helped me build the room on my porch. God, some of the places in between are gone. This is my house. I owned a house. Okay. So I owned a house that sat right here too. See that house there? I used to have a deck right there on the side of the house. Can you see that? How they took the deck off the side? There was a deck there. We walked out on the deck. They got it all boarded off. I built that front room on that house years ago. I framed those windows. I made those windows go up and down. That was my house. Oh my gosh, look at it now. It's crazy. I love that house. God, there was a house over here. It's gone too. There's Jean and Jack's house. I don't know what that place is out back there. I don't remember seeing it. Boy, it's falling in. Angie's friend Brittany lived there. She overdosed in that house not long ago, within the last year. Wow. Chris Wright lives up here on the right. You guys remember him. Chris Wetzel lives right there. I'm gonna turn around and say hi to Chris. I'm not gonna go all the way up and around. I'm just gonna turn around and go back. Let's see if he's here. Is Chris down there? He's not here? Does he live here? Chris Wetzel? Oh, okay. Are you his son? Oh my God. I haven't seen him for years. Just tell him that Marie... Okay, thank you. Oh, his daddy's at work. Okay, guys. I am tired. You guys worn out yet? God, when everything's dying back, you can see way back in. Anyways, beside my house right here, there was another house right there. I owned it, and we let my son move into it for a while. And then my husband took it from me and sold it to the guy out back. So now that man back there owns all the damn property. But my husband wanted Danny to buy it, and I don't know why he sold it out from under him. It doesn't even make sense that he did that to him. Anyways, I guess that's all for today. I'll stop down here by the house that Angie lived in. Guys, that house is so haunted. I mean, it is extremely haunted. I don't know if the guy that owned it, I think he died. So now I don't know who has it. But nobody lives in it. It would be awesome to go inside there and do a complete investigation. Because it is so haunted. I think it was 1300 Valley Road. Stop. It's right up here on the right. There was a little store right across the street from this place called Hartman's. Some man went in and robbed Mr. Hartman. He got like $2. Mr. Hartman had a bunch of money in his pocket. The guy killed him. The guy stabbed him to death. Killed him. For what? $2. This place here, guys, oh my gosh. It does not look like nobody lives in here. This place was so haunted. I'm gonna go up and just turn around so you guys can see the front of it. Angie lived here for a long time. I think the man that owned it, his name was Kippy. There it is. That little room, oh my gosh. Yeah, I would love to go in there. That little room right there, that's Haley's bedroom. Haley was always so scared in that bedroom. And they, you know, they always said, oh, well, there's nothing in there. There's nothing in there. She would say that she could see something black floating above her bed. I will have to ask her about that. She told us that she seen something black floating above her bed. She always had to cover her face. The lights went off and on. Like they had these lights mounted on the wall. So eventually Angie switched rooms with her and gave her the bigger room. And that shit started happening to Angie. And yeah, it's crazy. But that was just a dinky little room. There was a bathroom, and it was in Haley's bedroom, and then her bedroom. This was her living room. Yeah, it would be cool to go in there. I have no clue who even owns it now. It would be cool to do an investigation. If I wasn't alone, I don't want to do all this stuff alone and have the wrong person come in on me and, yeah. This is it though. I don't know. Yeah, there's no way nobody lives here. Look at the roof. The landlord, he didn't do anything to these places. He was just, yeah. He didn't do nothing to these places. But anyways, look, ATA. I wonder if that's from Angie. Because of her name. I bet you that's her initials. I don't know if it is or not. Alright guys, I don't know. I hope you enjoyed this video, this little ride around with me. I love you guys. The battery's fixing to die again. 3 batteries and I have none of them charging. I love you guys. I'm just going to set you up, and when it cuts off, it cuts off.